Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we discuss movies, TV shows, and streaming services.
And life.
No.
No?
That's not for this show.
That's the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember what I said to you today?
I
Remember what I said to you?
He said,
Remember?
let me get through the intro. Let me just get through the intro. And I said,
just
I'm gonna.
let me
I
do
told
it,
him I would
Nick.
let him get through the intro without pimping KFAF out.
No, you didn't. You said the opposite. You
Did I
said,
say
please
that?
let me pimp KFAF
I said
Wednesdays.
KFAF. Oh, no,
If you want to watch us stream live, it's every Friday at 11 a.m.-ish on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you don't got time for all that, that's fine. Because we're on YouTube
You
at
got options, baby.
youtube.com/kindoffunny. If you're like, man, I don't like, or Rooster Teeth. And that's roosterteeth.com /kindoffunny.
Just
No, just roosterteeth.com.
all over that.
Where if you go there right now, waiting for the punchline, Nick
Tim,
Scarpino's
that's-
documentary is
Tim.
there. We're talking about Rooster Teeth. You
It's-
got to go with the flow,
No,
Kev. You got to go.
no, not when
you
I
see what
made
I'm
it a
doing?
story.
There's a flow. There's a flow.
Anyways.
There's a flow.
If you hate looking at us
Go with the flow, Joey.
because
Look,
Tim's
Joey's
hair
moving
is
too.
hideous,
Joey's moving back there too.
you could just listen to us on most streaming platforms, audio streaming platforms. Also, give us that little like. Make us feel loved. If you love us and want to support us and have the means, go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and support us at the silver or bronze tier. Bronze tier, you get to participate with us like many kids did here.
Beautiful.
I am Kevin Coelho, and to my immediate right, Nick Scarpino, the man with a three-fingered movie review.
Happy end of the week, everyone. Happy end of the week. Ooh, there it is right there.
There's
I know
the
you like to
scale.
see it.
Yeah, I do.
But for audio listeners, if you've never watched the show, Kevin says three-finger scale, gets really excited, and then when I don't hold up my three fingers, he just gets
It's
this look of
disappointed.
disappointment.
You need,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
the fingers, dude. You need
Nick.
the visualization.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
seen anything good this weekend?
Yes, and I apologize. I gotta look the name of. I watched the HBO documentary about Elizabeth Holmes. I think, who is the Theranos CEO, the woman, the very young woman who was responsible for like running $1 billion company that was supposed to do the blood droplet, like blood testing. She was supposed to revolutionize the health industry, but it was all a sham, and like went from having being valued at $9 billion to like less than zero because she owed a ton of money, and now she's on charges of fraud. It's absolutely fascinating, and like if you close your eyes and listen, it's like Firefest all over again.
Yeah.
Because it's basically her just being like, I've got this great idea and I'm going to totally Silicon Valley it, which is like, I have no idea how we're going to get there, but I'm going to sell the idea on investors, and my story is important, and we're making change, and we'll just figure it out how to make it work. And then meanwhile in the back, basically what they're trying to do is make an entire blood lab into a box the size of a printer. And everyone was like, you can't do that. That like defies the law of thermodynamics. Like it's just impossible.
Thermodynamics, huh?
That's what one of the guys said. It was like, because everything's moving so much and everything's going, it's like you just can't.
It gets too hot,
defies a
boils
lot
the blood.
of physics. Like apparently, I don't know, it wasn't thermodynamics or physics, but if he's basically like, you can't do it, like you just can't get all this stuff in there. And so it just became this like calamity, the comedy of errors. But like her board of directors was like generals and all sorts of super powerful people that just helped push all this shit through.
Wow.
And meanwhile, she has the same look that like what's his name had when he was in front of the Senate, where he's just staring and she like doesn't blink either. And I'm like, what is it about like sociopaths
Fear.
that don't blink?
It's fear,
I don't
dude.
think it's fear. I think it's like they're like,
Their eyes don't dry out as much.
they just look at you
Yeah.
and
the
you're like,
cocaine.
oh, what's that?
Cocaine.
I was gonna say Adderall, but
All of it.
God, we got to get on Adderall here. We'd be so much better if we were on Adderall.
Yeah.
No.
Add it to your life.
And to your right, my left, Tim. It's motherfucking Gettys.
What's up, guys? Let's him
Tim,
host.
you watch anything good this last week?
Yeah, I have a couple things I want to say first, though. I just realized that I accidentally put on a Navy shirt, and this is like the bane of my existence.
Are you sure it's a Navy shirt? It's
You
a
want
black
Navy on
shirt
Navy,
that's
dog?
got
No, it's Navy.
dull.
I have one Navy MeUndies shirt. This is it. I hate Navy on black, or black on Navy. So I'm gonna have to change this, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome.
Are you going inside out, or are you just taking it off?
No,
Got it.
I'm just wearing this. Yeah, they don't know what color my pants are. And then the other thing is, I am feeling hazy today.
Oh yeah.
Last night,
Yeah, you
what
are.
a fucking crazy rager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what did you guys do?
We ended up. So we watched Us, which
Again,
we'll
this
talk
seems
about.
like it's a lot about your life, and
Which
that's
we'll
not
talk
what this
about.
podcast is
We'll talk about
no.
later. But then after that, we decided to go to a karaoke GDC party hosted by Andrea Renee and John Drake.
Oh, man.
That's a
and let me
mistake.
tell you, John Drake knows how to fucking party.
Let me tell you one thing right now. That sounds like a lot of energy, and I'm glad I didn't go.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
It was too.
Where
fun.
was it at?
It was too fun. I don't know.
Damn, it's like
Some
that, huh?
Japanese place.
The
I don't
bar
know. A
before the
karaoke.
karaoke was more than enough for me. I had a great time talking about how great Stevie is going to be.
Yeah, we had some fun conversations, but I also watched Zach and Miri make a porno.
Oh, what'd you think?
For
Great
the
movie.
first time in
Oh,
my
you'd
life.
never
Now,
seen it?
I
Yeah.
believe that's a Kevin Smith written movie, not directed by.
Kevin Smith edited as well. I don't know.
did he?
I don't know if he wrote it. It would make sense that he did.
I
though.
believe he wrote it.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a weird movie, and it made me and Gia have this like realization that Elizabeth Banks never really you think of her as like a teen actress, right?
Do you?
Or like in teen movies, or like you would associate
Isn't
her
she
with.
like always like a mom?
But that's
kinda-
the thing. I feel like she started as a mom. Like she never had that.
Yeah.
Like she kind of skipped.
Well, I
and,
feel like she also did the call like I'm a rowdy college student.
But she always
or, like,
plays like out of
post-college.
time. You know what I mean? Where it's like she's playing out of her age, where it's like flashbacks.
It says it was
or,
directed by Kevin Smith.
No.
Or maybe it wasn't. Who was it
Writer
written
and
by?
director Kevin Smith. I think this was a
cool.
Kevin Smith film through and through.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought it wasn't.
I just don't
I
think
thought
it's
he
in
had
the View Askew
experimented by just being a director with Cop Out and just being a writer on this movie, but I could be totally wrong.
verse.
about that,
IMDb
yeah.
has him as the director.
Okay, I was wrong.
So there you
But
go.
I had a lot of fun with
Yeah.
it. The character played by dude, I always forget his name.
Jason Mewes?
No, well, yes, he's
This music is
amazing.
fucking great.
So
Who's
good.
the other guy that's in This Is the End?
Is it?
Justin Long?
Yes.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
His
character
character
in
is
the movie.
very good.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I gotta go back and watch this. Is Craig Robinson's in this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin Long wasn't in This Is the End, though. You're thinking of the other guy.
It doesn't matter.
You're
Close
thinking of the
enough.
guy that does the voice for How to Train Your Dragon,
Yeah.
whose voice I can't stand. But Justin Long is in this though. You're right.
Yeah.
I just
Justin
saw his name
Long
down
is
here.
who I'm
so I
talking
just
Justin
assumed
Long
that's
is definitely who you're
about.
talking about, and he is phenomenal.
He's
It
amazing.
breaks my heart that this movie wasn't like phenomenal success.
It was. I think it was okay.
I don't think so.
You know, the thing is, like, this was before
'Cause it
Seth
had-
Rogen was a really big deal.
Yeah.
Like this, I want to say this was around the 40-year-old virgin time, maybe a little bit before, but.
Barry, can you open the box what's it called?
Oh yeah, this is like 3 years after 40-year-old virgin when Seth
No, no,
Rogen
no.
was still a side character.
Mojo.
That's the thing about this movie is so great is that Box Office Mojo.
Box Office Mojo. That's it. Thank you.
Elizabeth Banks, Seth Rogen, not big stars
Yeah.
in this, and so that's why I love it. I loved it because you're like, oh, this is just a cool cast of people who are like actually good for the movie. And then of course Jason Mewes being in it is
probably
hilarious, just
So
completely
funny.
naked the entire time.
Yeah, it was,
jacked
it was
out.
ridiculous. Yeah, no, it was a fun movie, and also it like held up a lot better than I
Yeah.
expect.
Lifetime gross $31 million on a budget of $24 million.
Ooh,
It's
that's
not
bomb.
good.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's on
Big
Netflix
fat
now.
bomb.
You can
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
It's very much worth watching. It is a fun movie.
Great concept.
Yeah.
He's like, wouldn't you? He's like, because they're broke, right? So they decided to make a porno, and the logic is, how could you not watch a porno that two people that you went to high school made?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's
Really.
genius.
So real.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd watch
fucking
anyone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It is a like rom-com though.
Would you watch
Right?
Kevin
Yeah.
Fuck?
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Which one?
I'd
What?
watch it, too.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
What did you
Kevin.
say?
Nah.
Your mic's really high.
Nah.
All right. All right. Is that all
No,
you watched,
like,
or was there anything else?
self-conscious
you
about
wanted to
my
bring
mic.
up? Okay. I watched Game of Thrones season 5 and 6, and oh boy, season 5 is so slow.
Yeah.
It's so slow. I'm halfway through season 6. Division has been like eating up a lot of my normal watching time, but Game of
end of
Thrones
6,
still
man.
so good.
I rewatched the end of 6 this weekend as well. Just the
The
sept scene, the like where just that piano song
Is that the
plays
end
for
of
like
6?
10 minutes. Yeah, it's fucking good. Man.
wow. I also watched Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, that's right. I watched that too.
Oh, did
How
you?
is it?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy it exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay, I'm not
not
gonna watch it.
great. You should
Here's
watch
the thing.
a couple of them.
No. The problem is, Tim. You understand. It has to be max level hype of Tim, or I'm not watching it.
No.
When you walked in, I was like, "How was us?" And you had a second of hesitation. I'm like, "I'm not watching it. It's not worth it. It's not
No,
worth my
but
time."
like the thing about this one is it's anthology and they're very short. So like the maximum's 18 minutes, but a lot of them are like 11 minutes.
Seems like a long time.
I hate you so much. I would recommend
No,
watching The
I
Witness.
have it queued up.
The Witness is cool. It's after seeing them, it's my favorite.
There were several cool episodes. Overall, I felt like it very much was like it was little tastes of like different worlds and like cool moments, but some of them left me wanting more, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they felt a little rushed because some of the stories are like
Very condensed.
7 to like 15 minutes long overall for all the videos, and like some of the stories are very condensed. You feel that and you want more. My only thing where I was like, huh, and I don't say this often, gratuitous nudity.
There is gratuitous
in a way
nudity.
that seems that like in 2019, like you're just putting boobs in here to have boobs in here.
Just to have the rating. You were telling me that it was MA, right?
Yeah, TVMA.
And it's like, you just did that just to have that be a headline somewhere. Because it's weird, and gratuitous is the right word, where it's like, I feel like it doesn't add to it at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many scenes where it's like, oh, there's a fully naked, like,
it's a lot of
girl,
jiggle.
and it just, like, she doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it takes you out of it. Like,
Yeah.
it makes it feel like the world they created isn't real.
Yeah.
Because like that, like I don't buy what's happening right now. But yeah, a couple of them are cool. I liked the different styles. Like at the end of the day, their goal was making a bunch of cool shorts. They made a bunch of cool shorts.
Yeah.
I just feel like it lacked a bit of substance. But a lot of them were done by Blur. Like they look amazing.
They look really cool. Some of them, like, they have like issues, like where the lip sync just doesn't look great.
Yeah.
And
even The Witness, which is my favorite one, which kind of has a Spider-Verse like animation style.
yeah, they hold the frames.
Yeah, but I didn't like the lip syncing of that. Like it really was off-putting.
Yeah. Something interesting that Netflix did with this, they were testing a new system of showing episodes for anthology series where they were doing episodes in different orders. So I actually just got whatever IMDb's list was, but other people had the episodes organized differently.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Real interesting. There was a little bit of a controversy because someone kind of big on Twitter was like, I think that they think that I'm gay, so they reorganized the episodes. And Netflix was like, no. We just have like there's 4 different routes that your
You got
your
the gay route.
experience can be.
And if you really like guys, this is
got
one of
the
your
dick
routes.
Netflix was Netflix was very quick to be like, we don't know that information. That's not something we asked you. There's no way for us to know.
definitely knows what you're into for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought overall it was
hilarious.
enjoyable, and they're so quick that like you could watch this in one like sitting, like binge sitting. There's I think 18 total clips. The like first one maybe, which is 3 robots. The first one I got, I really enjoyed.
3 robots was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't like
the ending. It kind of goes whatever. But
my first one was the Beast one. The Beast, like the cockfight type thing where she would have.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. That was my first one. The 3 robots I think was the second one. That one I really liked, but again, I felt like the nudity was unnecessary for the like the story.
For what they gave us, yeah.
What's it called? Love, Robots, and Sex?
Yeah. It's cool. I think you
Death
would
and
enjoy
Robots.
it. The style is really cool.
Yeah.
It also
I saw the trailer is fucking awesome. Like, how can you not?
Yeah.
And Tim Miller is the creator of this, and that's the guy.
I didn't really like any of the comedy ones. Like, I feel like they just didn't work as well as the
3 robots. I felt like definitely worked. Which other ones were comedy? Like
The Hitler
strictly
one.
comedy. The Hitler one and the one with live
Yogurt.
action people.
The yogurt one, the Hitler one, and the live action.
The
one
yogurt one I was okay with.
Yeah.
The yogurt one I was like,
my
this is
favorite
random.
one was
The Witness. You said that.
No. It's not actually. The Witness I thought had the best ending.
Yeah.
But what was it called? Blue.
Oh yes, something blue, Azure blue or something like
It's
that.
a certain type of blue, and it's kind of funny blue, and it's about this guy that's obsessed with this
Zima
color.
blue.
Zima
Zima blue. That's it.
It is awesome.
Yeah, that one is
very-
really cool.
Start to end. That
the
one's
ending
great.
is also one of those things that like leaves you with a lot of satisfaction of
Yeah.
like, oh, what a cohesive little story that they built.
It felt like a Pixar show.
But I was saying, yeah, the live action one towards the end, I did not enjoy the one with the fridge,
Yeah.
where it was just like, what is this? Why is the acting so weird?
And why did they put ice cubes in red wine?
Monsters.
It's fucking weird.
Monsters.
Ice cubes belong in 2 things, 2 things only: coffee and Bud Light.
That's right. Coffee and Bud Light. I also watched Us, which we will be discussing at the end of the show. We will do our typical spoiler-free segment where we kind of just do like over like the big picture stuff, like whether or not we recommend it, and then we'll move on to spoiler section. But we will warn everyone, and people that don't want to be spoiled can leave. People that have already seen it can watch our discussion. Now it's time for some housekeeping. First, I want to thank our Patreon producer, David Meintel. David Meintel, thank you.
All right,
Also-
good job. Great.
Yeah, this show is brought to you by our sponsors, Mint Mobile and Robinhood. More about that later. Now it's time for the news.
News.
So I love it. Our first story, a very exciting one. Waiting for the Punchline, now out for Rooster Teeth first.
For the world, man. You can watch it right now. The documentary we all worked very hard on, some more than others, specifically Nick. It's a documentary about Nick and his stand-up career, and it is fantastic. I cannot believe that it exists, that people can watch it now, and that it is as good as it is.
It's crazy. Obviously I went to Missoula, Montana to watch it at a screening, and now it feels like we did it so long ago. Because it was so long ago. Yeah, it was about a year ago. Wow. But you guys can go to kindoffunny.com/punchline right now, and that gets you to the link. And then if you are a Rooster Teeth First member, you can watch it. And if not, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial to check out my comedic genius or lack thereof. Spoilers, it's largely lack thereof. If you want to see me bombing for 74 minutes straight and you just delight in that, you're going to love this.
It's a great story. It's
really good. It features a lot of really great comics in the San Francisco area, including Tony Sparks, who is a legend here, and just a lot of great comics. It's really fun. We're all in it. This desk is in it for a little bit. It's exciting.
Am I in it?
Yeah, you're actually in it a fair bit.
Really?
In B-roll. But
I haven't seen it yet, and I'm very excited to see it. I've been asking you guys to give me access to. No, I kept asking, and everyone was just like, "We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out."
Only here have seen it. We're at RTX at the screening.
Yeah,
fascinating.
Yeah. But you can go roosterteeth.com. Check it out, baby. It's worth it.
Anyways, it's really exciting. Congratulations, Nick, on your first widely released movie. Next news story, Bill and Ted 3 gets a date and a real weird video.
Real weird. What was the point? Were they in character? Were they out of character?
They were definitely out of character. That was them. But it was so awkward. Nick, did you see this video?
I did. It's on the one they put on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
it's Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves. This is very fly by the seat of our pants here, and that's not how I like my Bill and Teds. Do you understand? I like my Bill and Teds to be a good, fun, nuanced. No, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's Bill and Teds. Who cares? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be stupid.
I felt so weird about the fact that they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna be coming next summer, hopefully."
Thanks to you guys.
Thanks to you guys. It's just interesting. I'm like, oh, we're never going to be playing in there.
But
Bill and Ted might, you know? Yeah. It's like, all right. Yeah, cool. All right, great.
My hope is that it's Super Troopers 1, not Super Troopers 2. You know?
Super Troopers, there's no way it'll do that. And also Super Troopers 2, not bad. Not bad.
Super Troopers 1
There's no way Bill and
phenomenal.
Ted 3 is as good as Super Troopers 2.
No, but what I mean is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and to a large degree Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Bogus Journey is the best.
They hold a very special place in my heart as being like classics at this point for dumb lowbrow comedy. They're silly, but they have a special charm to them, and it just gives me it makes me very worried when you see the actors trying to bring that magic back 87 years later with.
And they both look so
because
old.
One of their friends has a cool camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this smacks of like, my friend has a red. Let's just go film it. Let's just go film it.
We can do it now.
We got a drone.
But
Let's go film it.
We've heard rumors of this for literally a decade of like, it's going to happen. And like, I genuinely think that they want to make it happen. I just don't know that like, I feel like they're too old to make it happen.
It's one of those things where I'd love to see it. Morbid curiosity. Of course, I'll go out and support this film because I love Bill. I love everything about this. But I think it's got maybe a 10% chance of being passably good.
Yeah.
And I mean like watchable. I mean like when I think of Bill and Ted, this and the third Bill and Ted, I think it could very well be the second Joe Dirt. Where it's like, this was shot on an original Canon C300 that we stole from IGN. We didn't steal that from IGN. We stole sandbags from IGN though. Come at me, Per Schneider. You want these fucking things?
Get over here.
Fighting on the streets.
Nick, you don't have to call me sandbags. It's okay.
I call you saddlebags.
That was really clever. So the release date is, as of right now, August 21st, 2020.
Next year?
Yeah. Next year. Yeah. I'm excited to hear about more news as this develops. Like when we get a trailer, that's really when we'll get an idea of how good or bad it's
I just love that. Like there was a time where Alex Winters was probably texting Keanu Reeves incessantly, and Keanu was like, I'm way too big for you, man. I got the Matrix now. And now he's come down from the Matrix saga, and he's just a normal human being again, and they can make
Not true at all. John Wick, dude. Yeah.
They can make Bill and Ted's.
They can make Bill and Ted.
John Wick is great, don't get me wrong, but you can't argue that Keanu Reeves is as big as he used to be during the height of the Matrix frenzy.
Well, of course.
He used to be a AAA celebrity, and now he's just kind of Keanu Reeves.
I kind of get the feeling that was his choice.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think, he also made a few interesting moves with movies that just didn't do well.
Yeah.
Like he's done a ton of movies.
Scanner Darkly and whatnot.
No, he did. Like he's done a bunch of movies. He wanted to go more into like weird kung fu route where you're like, okay, cool.
I mean, that's worked out. I feel like he built towards John Wick, and now he's at John Wick, where he's like doing all these cool. Like,
John Wick's one of those films that like I don't think anyone expected that to be as big as it was, and it's special in spite of itself.
But I think he really believed in it because he worked really hard for the first, all three of them to like get all those like cool fighting moves and everything down.
He works hard for everything though. Keanu Reeves has a great work ethic. He always has. He learned how to surf for Point Break and skydive.
Did he?
No, I have no idea. I just made
okay.
that up. Be cool. Be really cool if he did though. Be really cool. If he did. I mean, they went skydiving a lot
for the Matrix.
Yeah.
He learned how to what?
I didn't hear. I didn't hear.
He learned how to wear
sorry.
glasses without. He learned how to wear sunglasses without those, like without the arms.
So cool.
They're so dumb.
So cool.
Why did Lawrence Fishburne do the second one?
Let's move on to our next story. It's a Transformer update.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some Transformer news. Bumblebee 2 will be a buddy film featuring Bumblebee and Optimus.
Which is fine. I'm there for it.
I mean, with the last one being well received.
This sounds good. Focus on a small cast of characters.
How much Optimus did we get in the Bumblebee movie?
Don't spoil it. Spoilers.
Very little. Very little.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah. Optimus Prime's solo film has been shelved.
So turned into this, which makes sense.
And Last Night's sequel is still happening.
Bullshit.
Unclear if Michael Bay will return to direct.
Don't do it. Why would you fucking do that? God.
Bring back Shia LaBeouf. Bring him back.
Bring back the boof.
Bring back the fucking boofinator.
That's what we've been missing.
He's the boof.
I hate it. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll fucking see.
Yeah.
You know, I Bumblebee's gonna get a sequel. It did well. People liked it. So,
but if they're saying Bumblebee is now its own universe, does that mean we're gonna have two separate?
As well as, let me tell you one thing right now. The Transformers world deserves two separate universes steeped in lore.
That look exactly the same. Like,
and John Cena should be the only through line. He should cross over to both. There should be a shot where John Cena looks into a mirror, and then we go into the mirror's verse, and it's Mark Wahlberg, and they're the same person the entire time. They're the same person, and they go. He goes, "I'm Mark Wahlberg." And he goes, "I'm John
home,
Cena."
Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking A, is Daddy's home in the Transformers universe?
Well, no, that would have to be in like. Because you're saying these are two universes that are now, that's after a convergence point?
I'm John Cena.
All right, let's move on. This next story called The Infinity Saga. Feig dropped the phrase The Infinity Saga to refer to the first 22 films or 3 phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universes. I like that it has a name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like, it's defined as a thing. They're going to sell it as a box set. But this also kind of opens the door for, like, we know that there are more movies coming out.
Oh my God, Tim's gonna spend so much fucking money on me. When they sell them in a steel box set at 4K, upres to 4K,
Yeah,
Tim's
dude.
gonna be like, I gotta
Let's
spend
go,
all my money on
Tim.
this.
It all.
I gotta get it all.
Yeah.
Also, Kevin, really quick, it's Feige.
Yeah. Sorry, Feige.
You're good.
Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like this is so interesting that he's defining that. Granted, this was just a random interview that he did, and maybe it doesn't mean anything.
No, it
but
does
like,
though. It does.
yeah.
Like there was more to that quote where he was talking. He was just like he went on to explain. It wasn't just a casual dropping of the name. He was just like, no, we're calling this
The article I read didn't say that.
What I saw was there was a quote, and he was saying that they're calling it the Infinity Saga, and it's the first 22 movies, even though not all the movies had to do directly with the stones and stuff. Like, they all built to this world, and this is a definitive end. Things will continue. He's like, but there's never been a moment in movies quite like this, where we are ending and beginning something new at the same time. I'm like, that's fucking cool as hell.
It's really exciting. I'm so excited for Endgame. And this also ties into our bronze tier question. So for any bronze tier people out there, what's the next Marvel saga you want to see? Like
Saga?
Serpent Squad.
Yeah, like a giant. What do you think the next phase or what? Because I don't think they're gonna call it phase anymore for the next series of blocked movies. I don't even know how to define it, but I'm saying what will that all build to and what like? Because Infinity War, I wouldn't have guessed that
Off the bat.
Yeah. And I'm just curious to see where people think that this can go.
I mean, not to go on this too long, but like the movies that we quote unquote know about, they're not official, but like we know that they're going to happen. Or
Black
we at least
Panther
assume they're going to
2,
happen. But we got Far From Home. We got Guardians 3 back on the docket. We got Black Widow. We got Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2. Shang-Chi, and Eternals.
Right.
Those are, as far as I know, all the ones that we're talking about now. So
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to some interesting news specifically for Greg Miller. Alamo Drafthouse season pass movie ticket subscription is launching this year. So it's real. What?
That went from exciting to not exciting pretty quickly. It's
Why?
launching this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dates haven't been confirmed.
Fucking put it out. What the hell? It's been in beta for a while.
For like a full
Get it
year,
out
I
here.
think.
Well,
Get it
they
out
had to
here.
figure out whether or not they could pair
Make
it
money
with
on it.
chicken wings.
They can, it
Greg.
turns out.
So for Greg.
So the Alamo Drafthouse season pass will be unlimited plan that costs $20 a month in most locations. That means you'll be able to see a movie every day for just $20 a month.
Cool.
Yeah. But I mean, that's cool. It
is
cool
cool.
that they're
Hey,
adopting
options
it.
are
It's
great.
cool that it's not ridiculously priced. Granted, they're going to make so much
It
money
will
off
be
the
more
food.
in SF.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that isn't like the tickets aren't necessarily where they make their movies. It's the like $15 popcorn
Yeah.
where they're making their money and the like
Truffle corn.
Yeah, we'll see if
absurd-
they get
yeah,
fucking
truffle
discounts on
popcorn's
that.
great.
Because AMC, you do.
Stubs.
I just think it's exciting, and I'm glad that it's happening so that Greg can go watch more movies. Speaking of movies and MoviePass is going back to their movie per day plan.
MoviePass?
Yeah,
Still alive?
yeah, it's still going. It hasn't died. Just die, MoviePass. Just understand that you're like
Good for them, man. Keep it going.
no.
How cheap would MoviePass have to be for you to get it in addition to AMC?
I don't think that right now. It sucks because Cinemark is right next to my house,
Yeah.
and it's so easy for me literally to walk to it. And right now, if you pay for the full year, so $120, $10 a month, you can do back to the unlimited thing. The problem is in their release thing that was like read caveat 5.2, and you read that, it's like, oh shit, they have like all control and no guarantee of anything. It's still totally broken on the end of like, if you use it too much, legally they have the option to be like, you can't watch this many movies today, or you can't watch these movies. And it's just scary. And like, that's not like, I know as much as I hate having AMC and going so far to see the movies and paying for parking every time, I at least know that I can like book everything and know that
it's
I can,
reliable.
my movie's going to be there. I had experiences with MoviePass where I got there and there was, in the morning I looked and there was several movies on there. And when I got to the movie theater, there was 2 options and they weren't the movie that I wanted to watch. And it's just,
Boss Baby.
yeah.
Off the list. You were so stoked to see it.
I mean, yeah, that's what it was. It was Boss Baby. Anyways, it's just upsetting
really?
that MoviePass.
The movie was not very good.
I heard it
tried
was
watching
great.
it on
I didn't
it's-
watch it. Yeah.
I've watched
very-
it multiple times on a phone.
Really?
And by watching it, I mean it was on in front of me.
You ever
Yeah,
notice
I
how
just
much
tried
the baby
things
looks
on.
like Barrett?
It doesn't.
It does. Barrett, can you pull up Boss Baby over here?
No, I'm not doing
All
that.
right. That's good enough.
Fuck you.
It's just interesting that they're keeping it up. So if you don't want to do the full year, you can do the unlimited plan for $15 a month.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Now, this is an interesting story by one of the founders of MoviePass, launching a app called PreShow. PreShow members download the app and will have the opportunity to watch a 15 to 20 minute pre-show considered compromised
Composed of.
it's the wrong word.
Comprised?
Comprised is the word I was
That's
looking
the word
for.
I'm looking for.
Of entertainment branded content. After watching the pre-show, the individual will receive credits to attend a movie for free to any theater of their choice with a virtual credit card. So you watch a 15-minute ad and then you get a free movie ticket.
Fucking MoviePass, dude.
Yeah.
Just stop.
We use proprietary facial recognition tech to ensure the person is watching.
Oh my
How
God.
creepy is that? You
There's
open this
no
app.
company I want doing that less than fucking MoviePass.
Well, it's not MoviePass. It's one of the founders of MoviePass.
Great.
Branched off.
Great. Oh my God, that's horrifying.
That's horrifying, right? But
that
also,
technology
hey man,
is being used?
it hasn't come out yet, but it's gonna.
Oh my God.
And people are saying that like they were testing it out. So it works really well. Like if you're looking at it, there's like a green square around everything. And when you look away for too long, it turns into a red square and the video stops. And it waits for you to look back.
I need this for Gia watching movies.
That's
so that I'll know
Yeah.
unless she's fucking
Terrible.
falling asleep.
Yeah.
That'd be annoying because every like 5 minutes it would just go red. You're like, Gia, wake up.
Yeah, well,
Wake up.
that's how it is now. Man.
But on the plus side, it's like free movies, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get to go to the movies without paying anything. It's just your time. Very reminiscent of the Black Mirror episode where they had was it Black Mirror?
We're all gonna have to wear masks at a certain point because there's just gonna
No,
be facial
it's fine.
recognition everywhere.
I mean,
Like the
probably.
Private Eye.
Great guy. That's right. It's a great graphic novel.
You know what I'm talking about, though? There was an episode where, no, maybe it wasn't.
Look, Google lets you make music now.
It was a show where they could pay for things to go like on trips by having people like come and read ads to them. It's not ringing a bell.
No idea at all.
I think it was Black Mirror, but real creepy. But I mean, hey, if like I was back in my broke college days, would I do this? I think so.
Yeah.
Would I also test putting like a photo of me in front of, or put it in front of a standee?
Dude,
Absolutely.
all you gotta do is record yourself for 15 minutes, like looking in a video, kind of moving around every once in a while, and then
and
just
put it on a screen.
yeah.
Man.
Man.
I wonder how like deep the
Let's
technology
do it,
is.
dude. Let's try it. Let's
No,
do
but
a
we already
test.
have MoviePass or A-list.
You're right.
Pop
It would
would
be a
be
much
saying-
better bit for
It was
kids.
it was Maniac.
There you go.
He was saying it was Maniac with Jonah Hill.
Yes, you're right. That's it. Thank you very much. Yeah, Maniac.
I'm in the chat. I'm in the chat.
Before you move on, because I see you don't have this as a story, I just want to give a brief mention to. It's official. Fox now owned by Disney.
Yay.
Crazy shit.
Yay.
Barrett,
Make a Wolverine movie.
Barrett,
Sorry for all the people who's losing jobs.
can you pull
It's real
up the
sad
Walt
on that
Disney
end.
Company website? Like you can just Google
Yeah.
the Walt Disney Company. I appreciate
I just
it.
felt like we hit that news 3 times already, or 2
I know,
times in the
but it's
last week.
official
Yeah.
now.
It's
So I just wanted
official,
to give it the-
Kevin.
We also called it official last
Can you
week
pull this up?
when it was like on Friday.
Like this is just crazy.
This is
Like,
really
to
weird.
see this list of things
Really
where
weird.
half of them are Fox properties and half of them are
Like
Disney.
Donald Glover's up there for Atlanta.
For Atlanta, which is an FX show, we got Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. We got Shape of Water,
which is a weird one. I'd be like, man, I don't think people are gonna
Oscar,
remember
it
that
won
one.
Best Nominated Pictures. Why
What's
it's up
going
there.
on with that? Is that what is that? Lacrosse?
No, that's cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking thing cricket
Barrett,
is.
can you Google Deadpool tweet? What's his fucking
Ryan
Reynolds.
Twitter? Because he also posted. Did you see this?
It's Van City.
First day of pool.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
City,
him on a school or Deadpool on a school bus. There it is. You can show the kids this too. So yeah, this merger is cool. It is also very sad. There are going to be a lot of jobs lost
course.
because of this.
Feels like the first day of pool.
Yeah.
Do you think he just has the costume? And then
100%.
you know what I mean?
I
That's
think
like totally
I think that was
Photoshop.
no, but I think in the trivia he did keep his costume.
did, yeah.
So I think he has the costume.
I just like to believe he's got it. And anytime he needs to make any
Yeah.
social video, they go, he just, I got it.
I
And he just
also
gets the
would
costume.
not put it past him at all to be like, I know we could Photoshop this, but I'm gonna go and take this picture.
In a school bus.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
Garrett
guys.
fucking T, he was
And that's
like,
the kind of thing-
there was at least a conversation
Yeah.
of like, should we eat up half a day putting you in a school bus and maybe getting arrested?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Man.
Yeah, but this is exciting yet sad
Very
news.
exciting
There's
times.
pros and cons to it, and the like.
The
sucks
cons
so
are that
many
people are
people
losing their
losing-
jobs.
Yeah, that's exactly
The pros
right.
are that they're going to actually start making really good X-Men movies now. So
Hopefully.
And those people will probably get their jobs back if they were worth, if they can.
Yeah.
I was going to say if they were worth it.
Yeah,
but
I know,
I'm
I
sure
know.
there's a lot of
But
people.
there's a
that
lot
would-
of people that like work in like HR departments that like they don't need 2 of.
I've never met an HR person I liked.
That's not true. He's just joking, and it's not funny. You're a terrible
I
person.
know.
Terrible person.
I really want to eat on the stream now, but Kevin told me beforehand that people were complaining about it. He was
Uh-huh.
like, don't eat on the stream. People don't like it.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they really don't.
I
It's
hate
loud.
it too.
Hey, Barrett.
It goes right into my fucking ears.
I can't.
Hey, sandbag.
Yeah, what's up, sandbag?
Sandbags.
All I can see, I can't see Barrett. All I can see is just the tip of his little hat popping above the TV. He sounds like Charlie Brown's freaking teacher.
All right, now it's time for some ads. Now it's time for some trailer talk.
Woo!
Woo!
It's a trailer.
Trailer talk. What was so interesting on that laptop?
Nothing.
The world will never know what Nick Scarpino
Because it's
was searching
real
for.
distracting.
What are you worried about?
To see both of you guys.
This is. Let me tell you. This is training. This is training for your future as a host here. Okay.
It's so
Here, we haven't even started
better,
level
you
2 training. Level 2 training is when Greg interrupts your ad in a Professor McGonagall costume with his fucking shirt off, his belly hanging out, and it's like 15, and then you want to just scream at him because he's getting the fucking point structure wrong for Gryffindor versus Slytherin.
I think you did scream at him.
Level training.
Level training.
Level training.
The first trailer I want to talk about is The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
This trailer looks great.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Really, really cool. We
Yeah.
we have sort of a connection to this, right?
We do.
We have
So,
2 connections.
We have, well, I have many connections
Okay,
to it, but
all right, well.
specifically, Joe Talbot, the director of this, went to high school with Gia, School of the Arts.
Very cool.
And he was kind of the standout in media. And she was telling me about him for years, where he would make shorts and they'd do like the media nights where like all the parents come and support and like a fundraiser thing. And everyone knew it was kind of a joke where it's like, oh, they're going to see Joe's video or Joe's short, and like, God, the rest of them are fucking horrible. You know what I mean?
It was like
you can
everyone
imagine.
that produced anything in my college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
but-
any college, really.
Really,
Yeah.
but his stuff's very standout. There's a short that I saw called American Paradise that you can check out on Vimeo, and not all of his stuff, but most of his stuff is very race oriented, very Bay Area focused. But this movie is because of the short film's success. There was a Kickstarter, it got funded. He has been working on this for the last like 6 years, and it's finally out, and it's winning a ton of awards, including
looks fucking great.
He got
Dude, the premise is awesome.
Best Director of Sundance.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Like, what the hell? You know, like
That's
this is
really
really,
rad.
really, really crazy. Yeah,
Has it
Last
not been
Black Man
picked
in
up
San
by a
Francisco.
distributor?
A24, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
A24
that's
distributing it.
right.
It's like this is it's really, really unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it looks really interesting. I love the cinematography in it is beautiful. Like they nail the vibe of what
The
San Francisco
overall
is.
aesthetic of the movie is so cool looking. Nick, earlier when we were talking about, was saying that it reminded him of Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I mean,
movie
I just like that
in
it
the
has a
sense
very
that-
defined style.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this looks like a Wes Anderson movie
Right.
by no stretch of the imagination. But what I'm saying is I like directors that you can tell that they make something that oozes with their style. And I think that's such a great way to tell a story because you're bringing people in. I mean, this thing kind of looks a little bit almost like a fairy tale. And I like that. But it's a fairy tale that just has to do with race in America, specifically in the Bay Area. It's got wonderful moments in it. The cast looks absolutely, it just
Danny
looks
Glover.
very, very cool. Yeah, they got Danny Glover.
fucking Glover, man.
Fuck yeah, they got
Like,
Danny Glover.
Very cool stuff, man. It's always cool to see people you know succeed, and like this might be one of the biggest examples of that I've ever known, where it's like a kid that went to Soda is directing a movie,
really
getting
cool.
awards from Sundance.
I
Like,
mean, the
that's
fact of the matter
huge.
is, like, and who knows where this can go, right? Like, there's another Bay Area director that blew up a long time ago. It's Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
So you never know. Like, you just don't know who's going to go and what's going to happen. But I guarantee he's going to get more work from this.
I definitely think you guys should check out Last Black Man in San Francisco trailer and the American Paradise short that's on Vimeo. It's
So
the pitch of American Paradise, because it's really cool and interesting, is it's this white guy, very racist white guy that lives in Oakland. And one day he decides, he's like, fuck this. I'm going to rob a bank, but I'm going to frame black people. And I'm going to put on a blackface mask while I rob the bank so they think it's a black guy that did it, right? So he puts the mask on and he goes and he robs the bank. It's a hot day. And as he's like going away from the cops, the mask kind of like melds onto him, like burns onto him, and he can't take it off. So then he has to live his life as a black guy. And it's so interesting to see like how his mindset changes and like how the way people treat him changes. And this is all within 15 minutes, but it's very, very,
really
very
cool.
well done.
See, I thought that this was going to be somehow connected to that. And when I watched the trailer, it's not at all.
No,
this is
it's
totally
not.
different story. And what a like interesting premise of like, hey, the house that like we grew up in was sold, and let's go by and check it out. And like, oh look, it's empty.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
Like
living
we
there.
can go in there and use it to
So
party,
cool.
use it to have fun. But it's very, very interesting and like
Yeah.
such a like believable premise.
And again, the cinematography, there's two shots in particular that I loved in the trailer, the opening and closing shots. The opening one, you just kind of see over a hill and then you see the cranes of like Hunter's Point in the background,
Yeah.
and it just like it feels so vast, and it feels like the Lion King.
Was it the Cranes of Hunters? I
Or
think
like
it was
from
Oakland.
whatever. Yeah.
It was Oakland's harbor.
The dinosaur
Yeah.
things?
And the dialogue that's there is like we built it.
AT&T
It's
walkers?
so good. Yeah, the AT&T walkers.
And then
correct.
the end shot where you see the Bay Bridge in the background, and then there's the hill, and there's the cable car, and then the guy just like skateboarding down it. I'm like, you can't get more.
Also, when
Yeah.
he's on the back of the bowl of the Acai food truck,
Yeah,
like, that's
the
a
acai
food
bowl,
truck.
food
Yeah,
truck,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this movie to come out. Next trailer we're going to be talking about is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 2.
Yeah, season 2
Yeah.
coming out. Excited.
Dude,
Like-
that trailer was dope, though.
I think this show's really, really good. It's very, very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to it. And we talked earlier,
Yeah.
and I was like, if they had said, "Hey, there's never going to be another episode of this," I'd be like, "Okay,
Cool. Yeah.
But now that there's another season, I'm like, "Cool, I'll watch it." It's that kind of show. It fits in that nice little middle ground of what should I watch tonight? Oh, I can't really decide. I'll put on the second season of Sabrina. That's what it's going to be.
Just a heads up, I don't think we're going to get a season 3. And if we get a season 3, we for sure won't get a season 4 of Sabrina. Yeah.
Really? Why do you think that?
Well, there was an article that I didn't include, but it was basically talking about how Netflix loses a ton of money after seasons 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sabrina seems to be a relative hit. It's hard to tell,
Well,
but
Yeah, I
who
mean, it's
knows?
super hard to tell. And also, I don't think it's that good. I think that it's fine. It's just another CW show.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the
I feel like
CW
Netflix
teen
having
drama.
a CW show is important
Yeah.
and key to their kind of that's a niche that needs to be filled, and I think that Sabrina fills it.
Interesting.
I think it's good, but I also think that like after season 3, will I care? We'll see. Probably not.
I mean,
I haven't cared about
do you
any
care after season 1?
Yeah. I mean, I don't care necessarily where the story goes, but I think it's a cool world that they've built. And like I said, I mean, I'm a sucker for Halloween style stuff. And of course, I'm sure I don't know when it's coming out. I didn't see it, but
April.
oh, I guess not Halloween time at all.
Yeah, right around
Weird.
the corner.
Yeah, sure, I'll watch it, but
But it's the
do
Halloween theme still.
do I care if any show goes beyond the 3rd season?
Does
Not
the cat
usually.
talk yet?
No.
There's no cat.
Okay,
Well,
there's
there
a
was
cat.
a cat for a very short amount
There's
of time.
no
It's still around
cat?
here.
Yeah, it's bullshit, Tim.
The
a
cat
cat.
is like a weird demon, and it doesn't talk.
They have these demon like pets that like bond with them. So like the pet picks them, you pet the pet. It's like your wand, but it's not. It like
Protects you when you don't have when you
No,
can't. Protect
she has an
yourself.
actual cousin that I think was
Yeah.
the cat that is now an actual live action character, and he's great.
It's
in
more
this.
like the comics. I think is the idea there.
Is the issue there? You mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
it speaks
Salem
volumes for
barely
his.
exists, and he doesn't talk, and it's dumb.
But did you guys like the trailer? I mean, I thought like the music.
I thought it was a good
I
trailer.
wasn't excited for season 2. Then I watched the trailer and I was like, I think I can get into this.
Well, I like that it's her voyage into becoming a darker witch is sort of thematically like drawn to like her just becoming like a woman and being, and she's like, I'm walking a more darker path and I'm taking charge of like this power that I have in me, or like, and then they show her like getting it on. And
Yeah,
you're like,
just
yeah,
fucking
let's
shit
go,
up. Yeah.
let's go. What's her name?
Harvey?
Draper? No. What was Sally Draper? Let's go, Sally Draper.
Yeah.
Let's find your sexuality. Should I get this?
I liked how much more magic we saw. Like I felt like people talked about magic and they kind of like held hands and like said things, but like we didn't see much happening in the
Show
first
sounds
season.
great.
Sure.
But like looks like in the second season, like there's a moment in the trailer where like she's got like a bunch of people around her and she just goes and everyone gets their neck snapped.
Yeah, she's fighting
Yeah.
Jesus and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that trailer got me a little excited.
Joey just looks
Sup,
so
Joey?
suspicious walking in.
What do you
What's
got
up?
over there, Joe?
I have 2 goldfish, and I was just.
Give me one.
Can I get?
I have 2 goldfish. Give me one.
Not both of them.
I just want one.
Don't do it
I'm
on the
okay.
mic.
I'm
Don't do it
okay.
on the mic. God, you're
How's
so
that sound, Barrett?
awful.
I fucking hate you.
Why are you doing this? When I give you like actual
All right,
feedback,
Nick has been muted.
It makes everyone stronger.
It does.
it doesn't. It doesn't at all. All right, next trailer we're gonna talk about is a trailer I'm very excited for. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I didn't realize a couple things that struck me about this. One, I didn't realize how excited I was. I needed this movie in my life until I watched this trailer. And 2, Tim's hair is so blonde, but it looks exactly like Brad Pitt's hair in this, and I love it. He's basically the Brad Pitt of the internet.
So
I've heard that. I've
You
heard that.
see it,
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
it's not like stark blonde. It's like dirty blonde.
Barrett, can you bring up the poster, please? Because I do want to talk about that just for a moment.
How
but yeah,
bad
the
that
trailer
poster is?
seems like it's going to be a lot of what?
Like how bad that
Yeah,
poster
that's
is.
exactly what I want to talk about it.
I'm so unfamiliar with the story,
I mean, no one knows the story.
but I mean, like
We
the
don't
story
know
it's
what
based on, like the
No.
He's talking about the Charlie Manson story.
Yeah, but it's not based on that.
It's-
That plays a part.
Yeah,
in it.
they just happen to live next
Yeah.
door to those people.
Yeah,
I think that's the concept of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, having not known that, but not knowing that story really, and then seeing this trailer, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I mean, it
At all.
just seems
It's
like
about
it's
this
It's
going
not
to
a
be
problem. Like I'm in. Like Tarantino, I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
Like I love the ninth film of Tarantino. I'm like, this is cool as hell.
What I like about it is, I mean, obviously Tarantino is a huge like movie nut in his own right, and I love movies about movies. And this is specifically, I think he's trying to capture like the end of the golden era of Hollywood, which I like. I think it's. I was not into this till I saw the trailer. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be a great movie. I love the Bruce Lee scene.
The Bruce
where
Lee
it's like
scene is
my
so
hands
funny,
are
yeah.
weapons, and if we were gonna get in a fight and I accidentally killed you, I would go to jail. It's just the camera pans over. It's like everyone would go, if they accidentally killed someone,
Yeah.
would go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be that like fun Pulp Fiction-y feel to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I'm very excited. Barrett, go ahead and bring up the poster now. So this is the poster that they put out earlier this week, and there's something about Brad Pitt's like face and neck.
Yeah, it's photoshopped.
It doesn't like. Why would they?
Why
would they need to do this?
Is that they liked the pose in one picture, but the look in a different picture, and so they photoshopped.
But
it.
I feel like they
I've done that with
photoshopped
Tim
his
multiple
face
times.
Yeah.
onto it.
Yeah, they did. I guarantee
so weird.
I guarantee they liked the way he was.
Yeah.
He like his body
Posture,
was
yeah.
aimed, or like the posture, like how his body looked, and they were like, well, we just need to take his face. Something else happens all the time. I'm pretty sure Leo's face is not there either, but.
Look at my boy Leo D.
It
dude.
is good, though.
If there's a Photoshop there, like it's
Zoom
a
out a
good
little
Photoshop. But with Brad
Brad
Pitt's-
Pitt's smacks of the first Avengers poster, where they just randomly threw Robert Downey Jr.'s like a picture from Robert Downey Jr. from like fucking less than zero on to his body on that one. It was bad. It's not
I'm
terrible.
stoked for it.
Yeah, me too.
When's it coming?
Scroll out.
No, I think it's down. Yeah, there you go.
July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
Very
yeah.
excited. Very excited for
Great
it.
cast. I was just scrolling through. Timothy Olyphant's in it. Harley Quinn's in it. Margot Robbie's in it. Or not Harley Quinn, excuse me.
I was like, that's Harley Quinn.
Harley Smith.
Oh,
Is that her name?
yeah.
Kevin Smith's daughter.
Yeah.
She's in it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
There's
really
a ton of
interesting.
people in
I
this.
didn't realize that.
Yeah. I'm into it, man. I
Yeah.
think this is
I'm
gonna
also
be-
very into it. I'm very excited to see
My prediction is that I'll watch this at least twice.
in theaters.
Just in general.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I still haven't watched The Hateful Eight again. I can't bring myself to watch 18
It's on
hours of them in the
Netflix,
snow.
dude. It's so good. It's so good.
not.
Have you rewatched it? Because I
No,
rewatched
I
it
haven't.
recently. Gotta love it.
No, thank you.
Yeah. All right, and then the last trailer we'll be discussing today is Toy Story 4.
TS4.
I didn't think this was a very good trailer.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it. I
I'm
liked
like,
it a
what?
lot.
There's 15 things happening. Now they're in this part. I'm like, this movie, I'm worried about this one, guys.
I'm not worried about
I'm
this
worried
one
about it, guys.
because I believe in them specifically for Toy Story sequels. Every time I'm like, we don't need this, and then we get it, and it's fucking awesome. This trailer does not make me feel good about that, but I
Who's doing the Spork's voice?
don't know.
Oh, that's a good
I
question.
tried looking it up beforehand, but it wasn't listed, and maybe I didn't see it. But it's got a great cast. Annie Potts coming back as Bo Peep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's the thing, Bo Peep being back. There's cool ideas here.
Being
I have a
back and
lot of
stuck in that like
questions.
antique thing, I liked it. The trailer once again got me more excited for like the overall premise of the movie. Is it exactly like
2.
1 and 2?
Yeah, I guess.
You know?
I don't
Sure.
know, man. We'll see. This movie, I think, has
what are you doing?
a lot that it's going to
I'm
need.
looking for things.
A
Don't
lot
worry
that it's
about
going to
it.
need to
your
accomplish to be worth having happened. You know what I mean? Because
Tony
Oh,
Hale. is
Tony
it?
Hale.
That's awesome.
1
Okay.
to 3 is so good. So, but yeah, this trailer, there's something about it that it feels like
a
it
bad
was
trailer.
trying to make me emotional, and it didn't at all. Like, and I was like, and that's bad. Like, 'cause when you're trying to get that out of somebody and it fails,
But
then it comes
Pixar's
off.
so good at
They
actually
are.
doing that. So
Yeah.
I don't have any worries. I like the trailer. Like I like that now I know what the story's about. I'm intrigued. Great. Spork is made into a toy. Now the toy is out in the wild.
First off, there's a couple things notable of voice actors that I want to talk about real quick. One, Keanu Reeves plays Duke Kaboom.
yeah.
Fantastic. And two,
Duke
Timothy
Kaboom.
Dalton, who was a ex-Bond actor who you know from a lot of movies, is playing Mr. Pickle Pants.
Yeah. Mr. Pickle Pants.
The movie just got 100% better in my brain.
I'm in.
But yeah, I like the trailer a lot, and I'm ready to not see anymore because I feel like even this one had a lot of story that like.
I'm good.
You give me a lot of plot points here. You could have just been like, hey, here's a spork. Oh, now they're lost.
Here's a spork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that the spork hates being a toy. And it's like, I was made to be a spork.
He's like, I was made for chili or soup or maybe some sort of hot item and then thrown away. It's a great line.
It's a great line.
He just wants to die the entire time. He's like tortured. It's so good.
All right, so our next topic, we were normally do the big topic next, but I'm going to go to out now on streaming platforms. Because, you know, I want to...
What's out?
Okay, good. I like that.
Yeah.
So on Hulu, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionist series premiere. I don't... People really like Pretty Little Liars. I think Paula loves it, so...
People like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's out. Fear the Walking Dead, the complete season 4 is also out on Hulu. People don't like that as much, but you know.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. And then on Netflix, they Amy Schumer's Growing Netflix special is out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that. She's funny enough.
I'm not a big fan.
That was a very political way of putting that. I'm excited to watch. She's, funny enough.
Another thing I watched this week was the Ken Jeong stand-up special.
Oh, yeah.
And like I forgot if we were talking about
I
on this
didn't
show.
like it. I watched it.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
But I was entertained, and I'm like, it doesn't necessarily stand up as stand-up comedy to me.
Sure.
But like, I was like, all right, like this is just a celebrity being a celebrity and kind of telling funny celebrity stories, and like just name dropping and then just like talking shit about Bradley Cooper. And I'm like, you know what?
If you want that, like I think watching a Kevin Smith stand-up thing or like Q&A is better. Like use of your time. I just
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Like the whole when he just committed to the hoe joke.
It wasn't funny.
No,
It was not funny.
it wasn't funny
entertaining.
for all 15 minutes that he continued to go.
It was like Ricky Gervais's joke where he just makes fun of
Ricky Gervais is
apes
fucking hilarious.
for 10 minutes. You're like, you just got to cut this part out.
God, that was bad.
You should have cut this part out. Everything else is
But
so
Amy
good.
Schumer, I don't know. I haven't heard any reviews or reactions to this yet. But
I'm sure it'll be an
her last
arena
special
show.
wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good either.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't
But-
like it. I didn't like it.
I got about 10 minutes and I was like, all right, I'll watch Trainwreck 2 when it comes out. How about that? Although to be fair,
Your
I
life is a train wreck.
watched I Feel Pretty and giggled.
When did you watch that? Feel Pretty?
I was on a plane somewhere.
And giggled.
I giggled. Not a good movie,
No.
but some funny giggly parts.
Interesting.
Weird movie.
Yeah.
Very weird movie.
And then out in movie theaters near you, Us came out this week. Also a movie called Triple Threat. Did you see that? Have you seen
Triple Threat?
Triple Threat?
What's that?
It's like a action kung fu movie, or like Commando Squad going in to like save the day.
You know I like that.
And it's got that. What's the dude from Fast and Furious 5? The Asian guy that does all the cool action.
Oh, Jet Li? No, not Jet Li.
not
That's Fast
Jet
and
Li.
Furious 5. Han
Maybe
Solo.
6, maybe 7.
Oh, Tony Jaa.
Tony
You're talking
Jaa,
about
that's it.
Oh,
What was it?
7.
7?
7, yeah.
Wow, I was way off. My bad.
You got
Yeah.
when you talk about Tony Jaa, you got to talk about Owen Bak.
Of course.
Bad
Of course.
motherfucking movie.
Dude.
It's a bad motherfucking movie. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, that's clear.
'Cause sometimes I realize
Whenever you say
I just said
bad, yeah.
3 movies were terrible and bad, but this was he's a bad motherfucker.
I mean,
in that
his
movie.
action alone in movies is so fun to
Tony
watch.
Jaa
so
made
cool
the
to
flying
watch.
elbow the coolest fucking thing. Sides right on your fucking face, Tim. Jesus Christ. Cut it open. Then I'd sew it back
Have you
together.
seen any of these movies? The On Bak or
Yes.
The Legend
Yeah?
of Owen Bak is fucking rad.
Fantastic.
there's like 3 of them too.
Cool G. Fucking love you. I love you. Thanks, Big Cat.
I feel sneezy.
I feel sneezy. Oh, so sneezy.
Now
And also on roosterteeth.com,
Oh,
waiting
yeah,
for the
sorry.
punchline on streaming services.
that's right. That's right.
Go to kindafunny.com/punchline. Check that out. Let me know what you think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Cool, Greg.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
not
the
an
best.
RT First member, you can sign up now for a free 7-day trial.
Yeah, sign up for the free
Is there
7
some sort
day.
of code that we can be like promoting?
No.
Never mind. then.
Just go to that link. If you're not an RT First member, there will be like a thing that pops up that says like, oh, you can sign up for it now.
So last week I asked the bronze Patreon tier people,
What'd you ask them?
did the Aladdin trailer win you over?
Fuck no.
These were some of the responses.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was a Patreon person. That was special from Coke. I feel like this is Coke Zero, but I'm not gonna fucking be angry at it because it's tasty.
Nick DeMarco says the new trailer was colorful and fun, but the CGI was a little off-putting. However, this is a movie that will live and die by musical performances. From what I've seen so far, I'm cautiously optimistic. I feel like it's a very valid point. We did get little hints of the music, and it's exciting, but we have to see more. What are you doing? We're gonna take away your laptop.
No,
Nick.
it's fine. I'm just googling stuff.
You're being bad. You're being bad.
No.
Top 5 Banana says Jafar's voice is wrong. Doesn't have the same deep darkness to it.
Yeah, and he's hot. It's weird.
So far, not excited for Aladdin. I also like that. So far in the trailer, that was the thing that was most off-putting to me, is like seeing Aladdin, Jafar talking and like winning Aladdin over to get him to scheme.
You
and
put a gun in my head, so you got to pick one of these guys. I'm picking Jafar 10 out of 10
Absolutely,
times.
right? He already is working in the
That
palace.
dude's got a palace. He's got probably a limo.
You have the
Iago.
palace.
He's got Iago.
Chachu says, I'm all the way in, baby. Will Smith's got big shoes to fill, but it looks like he's definitely got this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice to see a little bit more. What is he doing?
I'm
Just don't get distracted. Just keep going. Just push.
All right,
you gotta just choo through.
Choo through it, Kevin.
Yeah, Will Smith, I'm glad we got to see a little bit more of him in that, because like I like what we saw. And does it make me forget that he looks stupid in the blue? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see him
No,
not
I
in
literally
blue.
I'm on IMDb right now, and they keep showing me a picture of him. Well, it was not on this page, but an ad keeps popping up for that trailer, and he looks terrible.
Yeah.
It looks dumb.
But it looks good in motion, or it's passable in motion, I think is
He's a fucking genie. There's no way it's gonna look good.
No, it's gonna look dumb.
It's fine.
the nanobiologist says it did, but I also thought that it kept to the 80-20 non-blue blue split for Genie. It will be great if it keeps to the 80-20. So they're saying if there's more non-blue Genie, it's going to be good.
There needs to be a minimal amount of non-blue Genie.
The blue scenes were jarring. Thank you so much for all the people that submitted their responses. For this week, let's see, what was it? I have it right.
You already
down.
asked it, right?
Yeah, I know. I was just going to restate it. You don't think it's worth restating?
Restate it.
Restate it, dude.
What's the next Marvel Saga you want to see? Like the overall arch that you want to see, not the next like 5-movie arch, the big one. Let me know. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Now it's time for our Us review. So as always, we're gonna do 5 minutes of top level stuff and then move on to the spoilers. And we'll warn you when that happens.
I'll throw up a spoilers, bro.
Barrett's gonna throw up a spoilers, bro, for the Twitch streamers, YouTubers. I'm sorry, but you know, once we say spoilers, leave.
I'll have a time code in the description for the YouTube kids.
Tim Tam, you watched it.
I did.
Top level. What do you think?
I don't want to sound too negative on it because at the end of the day, it's a fine movie, and I'm happy I watched it, and it has many great scenes and many great scares and some cool cinematography.
Did it have many great scares?
It had enough.
I thought it had plenty of good
If
scares.
it had more than one, it had many.
I don't think it had one great scare. I thought it had plenty of good scares.
I mean, this movie scared me more than most scary movies have for the last couple of years.
Did it scare you more than Captain Marvel? Boom.
It did.
Okay.
It's at a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Jesus Christ.
Which blows my mind.
Yeah,
it really does.
blows my
My
mind
biggest
as well.
disappointment of this movie is that I expected so much from Jordan Peele after Get Out, and this ain't it, Chief. Like this, it just did not hit that bar. It's a fine movie if you take it out of that consideration. The acting is fantastic.
I just don't think it's a fine movie in the sense that like its ending is not good.
Here's the thing, like,
And if a movie doesn't have a good ending, it's not a fine movie.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
but comparing this to other horror movies, I say it is a huge step
No,
above.
but that's not how it works.
I know.
You don't say it's a fine movie in that genre. No. Like movies are either good or they're not, you know?
I'm with that, but compared to other horror movies, I do think this is better than other horror movies. It is just not a great movie.
Yeah.
And that is a problem. I totally agree. But I watch a lot of shitty horror movies.
Yeah.
Like I go to the theater and like pay to see them, and I would rather pay for this than those, you know? Like there's a lot of cool stuff in this movie, but it just doesn't come together. And I feel like this movie suffers from what a lot of horror movies do and a lot of movies in general, which is the pitch and the question being proposed is more interesting than the answer that they end up giving us.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's a huge problem. Like we were doing a podcast recently where you were saying like And if we could answer it, then it's not good. Like you have to be smarter than us to make a movie where like you're bringing a big question up. And I just feel like the answer we get is just not something that like.
See, I feel like some of those criticisms could be rendered for Get Out, but I think Get Out was just so well done that you don't care necessarily. Like the trope in Get Out is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous, but it's earned.
It's established
and,
too.
Yeah, when you get to it, it backs the overall. Like Get Out wasn't like for all intents and purposes, it wasn't an especially like ingenious movie, but what it did very, very well was that it had a solid concept of what the theme was, and everything backed that up. So when we got to that ridiculous part at the end, and then he ends up going apeshit and killing everyone, it feels really earned, and you're like, oh my god, okay, cool. And it's very kind of nuanced and stylized. With this one, I was hoping that the theme would be one thing, and then talking to you guys, you're like, no, that's not it at all. Like I thought the idea of the theme was like was going to be like that they are their own worst enemies, and there's going to be more of a like overarching cultural implications of that, and it just sounds like that's not it at all.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not that. There's like a lot of weird. Well,
let's wait a little bit till we get into more of the spoilery stuff. So Tim, would you recommend this movie?
I mean, if you're into horror movies, yes. If you're not, no. And that sucks because I would recommend Get Out to anybody. Because it transcended past that to just, it's a
But would
great
you
movie.
recommend this movie to Nick?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't like horror movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, definitely not. There's nothing special about this that I'm like, you need to see this. Like, I think that Lupita Nyong'o's acting is a standout.
I think it's not just her. I feel like most of the actors did a phenomenal job.
They did, but
Phenomenal job.
I think that she had
Absolutely.
so many scenes that.
Well, she's the main protagonist, and like we get a lot of her scenes.
And antagonist.
Yeah,
Like that's the
that's
thing.
right.
And she
Yeah.
does both so damn well.
So well.
But I would say that Toni Collette did better in Hereditary. So like even the things that this movie does great have been done better recently in horror movies. All right, it's cool.
I'm in the same boat of Tim, where it's like I tweeted about this yesterday with my little A-list reviews that I do, where it's like I don't recommend going like if I had to pay and I wasn't using A-list to watch this movie, I think I'd be disappointed. But because I have A-list, it was like, all right, cool. It wasn't what I wanted, and I would not recommend anyone to go to the theaters to watch this. It just doesn't. I don't think it's worth it.
That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't be like, you should just go watch it so you can have a better, like, established opinion on it. No, it's wait till it comes out to some streaming service. That's my call.
Bear, what's your non-spoiler review?
I would say that, like, thinking about it, God, we talked about this movie so much last night, and that's something we gotta give the movie credit for, like, the amount of conversation we had last night, to the extent where, like, after I left,
Not
you
for the
guys-
right reasons.
No,
Not for the
true.
right reasons.
Okay.
If you're trying to build and establish like why things happen after a movie is done, I think that's losing points. Rather, if you're talking about how cool it
You mean
was
if you
built.
have to fill in the blanks?
Yeah, if you're trying
that's
to fill
never
in the
good
blanks,
storytelling.
trying to figure out did it mean this? Did it mean that?
Yeah.
Like that's not great. That's
But I was talking to more, like I was texting more people about it last night before going to bed, and I think I've equated it to like the equivalent to a Zack Snyder horror movie where there's cool moments, but connecting those two, like those cool moments,
Not a good comparison.
No.
connecting
It's not a
those
good
cool
compliment,
moments through the plot and the story weren't thought out. Like there are really cool scenes, and like I would say it's at the end of the day, I think it's a solid mid-tier type of horror movie. So if you're into that stuff, I would recommend go see it. Like I still had a fun time, even though after we left and the more we thought about it, the more we were like, yeah, it was just okay. And that bums me out because, you know, Jordan Peele came out kicked all of our asses with Get Out, and went I don't know what phrase I'm trying to think of, but yeah, I was bummed out. But I think it's at the end of the day, it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
Tim, one thing you said to me yesterday when we were talking is you thought the movie felt rushed, and
Like into production.
yeah. And I kind of agree with you.
And I really think of that from a script perspective, because I do think that the production of the movie itself is great. Like
Yeah, it was aesthetically the movie was pleasing, and I like there are some cool shots in it that I really enjoyed. Didn't realize it was in Santa Cruz too, which really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And like also got me real excited.
Close to home, but
Respect that.
yeah, my biggest problem with the movie is I'm always a stickler for building the world and committing to the rules that are presented to you, because I feel like that is when you really made something special.
Yeah, it's very important.
Sorry,
Especially,
are we in spoilers now?
No.
No, not yet. When you create that believable world and then you present an interesting premise and then you play with the rules, right? Like that is the most interesting thing.
Not full on break them or just pretend there are no rules. And I feel like this movie did that a lot.
Yeah, this movie does that, but more than that, I feel even the characters themselves don't act the same throughout the movie, where it's like they feel like the first half of this movie, a lot of the characters are totally believable. They're scared out of their damn minds. And then there's like a switch where all of a sudden they're like joking. And I'm like, this feels so out of place, where I'm like, everyone around you is dying. Why are you laughing and making like haha jokes?
I think that was a little bit more understandable in the sense that like I think that we're ready. Well, I want to talk more about this in spoilers. All right. Well, that was our review, non-spoiler. Now it's time to jump to spoilers. So I'm sure Barrett has the. Yeah. Excellent. Tim, do you want to start off? Do you want to take?
I mean, I just feel like going on what I was saying here is just like there's a tonal shift in the characters and in the film that is not earned for the world, where it's like I understand why and like I can rationalize like, oh well, this thing happened, so
Well, no, I mean, we can say it like so. There's a point where they Nick, do you want to stay for this? Or
yeah, if you guys don't mind, I don't mind.
Yeah, no
so
problem.
I'm just looking at actors and stuff and stuff.
There's just a point where they've defeated the like all the enemies they have around them, and they're in the car. Is that when you're talking about where there's the bigger shift? Of,
I think
like,
it's before that.
They all start joking. But I always thought that like the tonal shifts made sense with the characters just like beating whatever issue, like whoever was trying to attack them.
Here's the thing: they killed a bunch of bad guys. Let's just say, right? Then they get in the car and start joking about their kill counts. And they're just like, I get to drive because I killed more people than you. And they're like, nah, you didn't. I killed one more than you.
Do you think that's because in Get Out, like one of the standout people in it was the best friend who was hilarious?
Yeah,
The
but they were
TSA
able
guy?
to pace that well, and it didn't like he was funny, but he wasn't involved
Right,
with
that
the
was
scary
that was
stuff.
comedy relief
Yeah.
for the sake of hey, let's relieve the tension so that when we build it back, it's going to be even
I
higher.
feel like they established the dad character as like making inappropriately timed jokes often.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
But
when
what
we
about
saw
the
it-
daughter? What about the mom?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like all of a sudden they all became the TSA agent. And I'm like,
that's unfortunate.
it's like I don't buy this because literally 15 minutes ago I saw all these people being terrorized by themselves in not their house but in the house that they're in, right?
Yeah.
And they're crying from fear. And now they're joking about kill counts. Don't buy it. Like that's just not. You have your family and you finally feel safe for a second. Don't joke about who gets to drive the car. You know what I mean? Like no.
That scene made sense. I can imagine after.
But then continue
'cause,
it
like,
after that.
They
And it
let
just- it
hold on,
stays that way.
they left the house. At that point, they assume they're safe. They're gonna get in their car. They're driving to the best friend's house, and like I get it. She wants to drive. They built that up beforehand. She's finding an excuse, and like then they're all responding. I thought that moment of levity was earned.
But my problem is that moment of levity didn't stop after that.
Well, even
then they get to
so
Santa
like
Cruz.
the car moment of them making a joke about the cars after the friend's house, because they take the boat to the friend's house because they escape on the boat from them.
Yeah, you're right.
themselves.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But once they get to Santa Cruz, there's dead bodies everywhere.
Everywhere.
And they're realizing that everyone is fucking dead.
Yeah.
And they're just laughing. Now they're just like they're making jokes about like whatever the fuck. No.
Yeah.
Is that
That really
commentary
bothered
on
me.
dissociation of like violence?
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
See, and this is my problem when you have to really fish for like things.
What the movie's saying?
It just doesn't feel like any of it's earned. That's why like the conversations I felt we had yesterday were like not necessarily like it wasn't giving it points of making us think.
Yeah.
Because it was making us think so that we can
try to make
the movie better. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one of the theories I was talking to a friend last night about was that it was like a commentary about gentrification, but then that becomes weird because if the copies are supposed to like represent gentrification, then you're saying that people who gentrify are also weird victims in and of themselves, and it's like a weird like. I don't believe that's the commentary either. You know, like this movie had a lot of problems.
So was that the main theme though? Was it centered around gentrification?
No, it was just a theory that people had online.
It was about America.
Yeah, the villainization of America, like by maybe the government.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
That's so sad because I think the power of Get Out was that was its theme was that everything really went to back that theme of like
that's it when the
of
story
exploring that like grander political issue through horror and through a little bit of humor. I thought that was really cool what he did there, and I was hoping this would be like another exploration of something like of some social issue or something that he could use those old horror tropes to shed some more light on. But it sounds like it was just ambiguous.
This came up last night. I forgot who said it, but this feels like a Twilight Zone episode, not a follow-up to Get Out.
This would have been a cool premise for a Twilight Zone. Like
Barrett said it.
Yeah, and it's like that you nailed it. Like that's.
But
what
you
it is.
also said it wouldn't be a great episode. It would be a good one.
It would be
still
an episode.
Yeah, but like even then, like it's not a bad one though. It's like there's enough there. Like there is cool elements. I just feel like they didn't hit.
But I just feel like the message was so muddled because it was so heavy-handed.
And it did. This movie does a lot of things that I was like really just like I hate. Like when it started and there's like text on the screen, and the movie starts saying like most people don't know this, but there are underground tunnels all over America,
Miles of it,
like miles and miles and miles.
They tell us a number.
And it's just like okay,
so they're called sewer systems.
Like
we're like sewer systems or like broken down train stations, and like they don't have like a known use, and then it just
cool.
So then it's like okay,
fades into
cool.
the movie.
Like this, I guess we know where this is going. Like it's gonna end there for sure, and like there's gonna be people underneath there. Like it's telegraphed in way like you didn't need to tell me that.
Yeah.
It pans over, then it starts, and it's this little girl watching TV, and she's watching this thing about hands across America, and it pans over to the TV, and it like zooms in, and in there one of the cassettes was Chud. Which is about like underground dwelling monsters, and it's kind of like, oh wow, it's really like heavy-handed, or like really like telegraphing stuff.
So is that what these people come from? The underground monsters?
Yeah, basically. So, like they don't explain it too much, but basically someone figured out cloning, and then they cloned everyone
in America.
Everyone in America.
Seems like a misuse of cloning. I would have just cloned Brad Pitt and then put my brain in his body.
What happens when you clone someone is there's one soul, so it's not split up. So the clone is really weird and like not there mentally, and they mimic everything that the real one does. So they're the shadows, is what they were calling it. They were the tethered to, I think, is the name they were referring to.
Which is weird because I feel like again they didn't follow their own rules.
They didn't follow them at all.
Where like to the big twist I would say of the movie that is clear from the first 5 minutes is so the little girl who is Lupita Nyong'o in the past, right?
Okay, sure.
In the beginning
As a child,
in the
so it's
beginning
when
of the movie,
she's like 6.
When she's watching Chud in the 80s. Got it. That makes sense. Sure.
walks into House of Mirrors essentially, and then sees herself. And you keep seeing flashbacks throughout the movie.
It's a cool scene though when she sees herself.
You keep seeing this, and then it's revealed at the end that they actually were switched, and the Lupita Nyong'o character that we know as the good guy is actually the shadow version, and then the real one has been underground
down there
and living her life with these weird monster things.
But it doesn't make sense in the sense that like okay, so that Lupita Nyong'o's character, the 6-year-old girl,
the real girl,
was special. No, not the real one. The tethered was special because she could somehow break the tether and do what she wanted, and that's how she was able to go up and
they
switch
explain
places.
that by saying she's special, and that's it.
We're special. She
No
says to her,
reasoning for it, no anything, just we're special. And it's like, that's stupid.
But then the tether continues, and it's the original girl seems like somehow she's stuck down there, even though once she got the
like she obviously
the handcuff off, she could have just left. What would it stop her? Instead, she stayed there, and they continue to have this tether, and she did all the ballet and stuff. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
The less I like the movie.
And it's so upsetting. I'm having the same thing where I went home and I thought about it, and I kind of discussed it with Paula, and it was just like, none of it makes any sense. The logistics alone of trying to feed 300 million people.
Rabbits.
I guess rabbits fucking have enough babies that you can keep eating them.
You got to be careful with
Yeah.
them. Turn around like
And
trolls.
rabbits are just creepy, so they just like fit in the creepy vibe.
Yeah, the rabbits are creepy, and it gives that sense of like, they're like test animals, you know, that they're using these people. I think that the idea was all these clones are being used to be like taught stuff that the government wants to like brainwash us with, and like in hopes that it would work in the reverse too. Figured out, no, it doesn't work, and they just abandon everything. And then they leave all these clones under there by themselves. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. So they cloned everybody, and then on top of that, it's like they continue to clone everybody. So it's like this.
Well,
this
no, they
woman
have
grows
now. They're
up,
starting to have kids.
and
So
they're the exact same kids as like
Yeah,
it's-
right.
yeah, because it's about like I think that was saying it was more of a biological thing where if the same people meet at the same time and have sex at the exact same time,
they're
they will have
same
the
clone
exact same
babies.
kid.
It's like it's
Yeah.
bizarre shit. It's
It's
like,
really
alright.
weird. It seemed like a really cool idea, but like the execution of it just completely failed in like the ending. Because what's her name? The actress the real little girl that's living down there is able to get all these tethered people and convince them that at 11:11 they're all gonna escape and start attacking.
Killing everybody
all across
in
the nation.
world. Or in
Just killing
America.
everyone. So suddenly the tethering doesn't work anymore. They're no longer forced to mimic the movements
Right.
of the up top people.
Except the one scene where the sun walks backwards to make the other sun walk into fire. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that was more that he's a kid and he was just like, oh,
He had a
I'm going
mask
to
on.
imitate. Yeah. It was so.
The movie ends, Nick, with all of these fucking tethered people having come up, killing everyone in America, and then doing Hands Across America.
Oh, cool.
And that's the movie.
And then it ends.
Was Hands Across America cool?
No.
Did it succeed? Kevin told me it didn't.
I don't.
And that
I don't
bums me out.
remember it
Barrett, you
succeeding. I remember
Google-
like there
Google it.
being giant gaps in this and,
Yeah,
that, and
that's-
being like, this was not very well planned.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a giant tether of
There you
like
go.
5,000 miles, but I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't
Did
think it worked
Hands
that.
Across
3,000
America
miles.
work?
And it was 6.5 million people, they told us yesterday. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
What did they say?
I guess it worked.
I mean, they raised money.
I guess it worked.
Yeah, see, look at those giant gaps.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, it was in Santa Monica, not
I mean,
even.
to be fair, like Texas
Was
is
that,
so
are those
wide.
gaps? Or
Texas
isn't that
is
just
so
the
wide.
path that it did.
Nah, I don't know, man.
Who cares?
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
you'd have to at
I
some point
care.
cross a freeway. That's dangerous.
At Hands Across America was about bringing attention to
Clones.
homeless people and like right raising money for
I
food
have
and stuff.
no idea.
No,
like I was a kid. I was just
Okay.
like, this is weird.
Did you partake?
No, fuck
Really?
no. I was in Riverside. My mom wouldn't let me go out of the house. She's like, no, that's lame. We're not driving.
That's
to that
lame,
thing.
dude.
You think Aladdin
Hands
Scarpino's
here.
gonna fucking spend time doing something
But
bougie like that? It ain't happening.
The idea is that she had convinced all the tethered that not only were they going to come up and kill everyone, but they were going to do the Hands Across America so that they could show everyone that like they're all organized and I guess
Right.
intelligent. But the movie was really creepy, and if you like horror movies, it has a cool vibe for 2/3 of it, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, look at all these weird doubles, and you get a lot of violence.
There are like the
You like that?
There are some surprises. Like I liked when they go over to the White family and like
The White family. Can you just call them the Friends? Wow. I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
They were white as fuck. Let's just be honest.
They really were.
like
WAF.
They remind me so much of Tim.
Tim's so white.
Dude, the mom or
Tim drives
yeah,
a Prius.
the mom of the best friend's
See.
family was like, "Hey, I heard a noise. Can you go check outside?" And the dude is just like,
Dad
I'm
looks
so
around and goes,
comfy.
I'm really comfortable right now. And like Gia just looked at me and I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
But I
Yeah.
love that it was kind of a commentary on like horror, like how people act in horror movies, where like Lupita's family like survives and endures and like tries to move on, where the White family just got fucking like knocked the fuck out in the first
like,
5
yeah.
seconds.
Best scene,
So quick.
Best scene of the movie
Really
was that
good, yeah.
for sure. Because
Yeah.
it's like we think that there's only clones of the main
family.
family,
Yeah.
and then once like these characters that were introduced in the beginning, we get to their house, and then we're like, oh shit, they have clones too, and the clones just decimate.
Decimate.
In like
It's
5
like,
seconds.
Yeah.
It's like
done. It's like,
also,
that's cool as
where
hell.
the fuck are they getting all these golden scissors?
who
Yeah, I don't
cares?
know about the
There's
scissors.
one for every person,
They're underground.
and they're ornamental.
That's where gold is.
And then the
They're
best
not making
moment.
scissors. Also, you can't make scissors out of gold. It's too soft of a
Malleable.
metal.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
We have
best-
those scissors. They sent us them.
Yeah, they did.
The best moment in
Not
the
sharp,
movie
though.
is when the mom of the White family is on the ground. She's not completely dead yet. She's crawling, and like they've got an Alexa, but they call it Ophelia, and she's like, Ophelia, call the police, and Ophelia says, all right, playing Fuck the Police by NWA.
And Fuck the Police starts playing, and it's just death all around. It's
It's so good.
And then he does the like reaching for because he's an asshole too, like his counterpart.
Yeah.
It just
There were cool moments in this movie.
There were.
I just wish it was
there were,
better.
but at the end of the day, like those cool moments don't make up for the fact that there wasn't a cool story, in my opinion.
Like Zack Snyder movies.
Yeah. Like
Although
Zack
I
Snyder
will say
movies.
this though, we talked earlier.
With some exceptions.
Earlier during this discussion, we talked shit about a Zack Snyder horror movie, and then someone in the chat reminded me he did Dawn of the Dead. And I was like, you know what? I just ate my fucking words. That movie was great.
Yeah.
That movie was great.
Yeah.
Hands Across America did not fully work.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were breaks in the chain.
Great. That's what I said.
All right.
Giant gaps.
Do you have anything else you want to say about?
Gaping holes.
Stop, please.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
The last thing that I want to say is I really didn't like the use of music in the movie. And I thought it was so
You threw a big word out yesterday when we were talking. When you were
diegetic
saying,
sound.
that's it. Yeah.
Diegetic
Ew.
sound is
Big
when
word.
the music and the sounds are heard by the audience and the character.
Yeah.
So if like they're in the car driving, and the movie did a great job of utilizing that for the first half, and then totally gave up on it and just decided to play I Got Five on it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This ain't it. And also, the sound design, bizarre as all shit. Every single time somebody held a pair of scissors, you hear a fucking sword unsheathing. It's just like, whoosh. I'm
Shears
like, why?
really are very loud. They do
Yeah, I
make
know,
every
but like
time
they
you
weren't
open a
doing
pair of
that.
shears.
They weren't opening it. They were just holding it.
It's like that's one of my biggest pet peeves in movies. Is like they used to do it all the time in the 80s and 90s, where someone would take out a handgun and you hear a chat chat. You're like, what? No,
They're
that's not what
loading it.
that
They're
gun
like-
sounds like. It would sound like the slide coming back, or like a shotgun sound. You're like, no.
I haven't been this disappointed in a long time with the
Yeah,
movie.
I
I had really high hopes. I was very excited, and right from the start, you kind of get the sense that something's off. But a good chunk in the middle is very cool, and it keeps you very interested. But it was once that you start getting answers to the questions that they've built, that you're just like, this isn't. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's a lot of horror movies. Like the answer is always not as good as the
Yeah.
question and the setup, and that's just the way it goes. I just feel like I mean, I hadn't seen this movie, so I'll give it a fair shake when and if I decide to watch it on Netflix. But Get Out was just so well done, start to finish, and every element worked.
Yeah.
And it was absurd, but it was absurd for absurdity's sake, and that totally made it. It just made it work, and I think that's disappointing. It's disappointing that it sounds like he couldn't bring it together as well as that first one.
Yeah, I think with Get Out, it very much has a like crazy, like, you know, that they're pulling out people's brains and putting parts of them in, and like now that person has to control your body. That's a crazy concept, but they set it up. Like he talks about her parents being like these crazy doctors and how like that's a part of like he's scared of going there and like.
But that was. But I mean, I think there's obviously a little bit of a leap in that, but it's acceptable in this, right? Like that moment happened in Get Out, and I was like,
well, that's
that's
what I'm
completely
saying.
ridiculous.
It's
but
ridiculous.
I didn't care because the whole movie had a surrealistic feel to it, and that element I thought, while stuck out a little bit, worked overall. It sounds like this one's just a jumbled mess of crazy shit.
Yeah, it really much it felt like that. And
Maybe you guys just aren't smart enough to have gotten it.
Yeah, that's probably.
solid
Oh
it.
my God, I've been told that so many times.
Maybe you guys
in
just
the
aren't
last night.
smart enough to understand all the references. It's possible.
And I think my biggest problem is the twist at the end. Everyone was like, "Oh, I saw it coming." I didn't, just in the sense because it doesn't make any it didn't change the story.
Nope.
It didn't make the story better.
It made it more unbelievable.
Yeah, and at the end they're driving away, and her son looks at her, and she has this weird smile that is from them, and it's just like that's so. This seems like this movie's trying too hard to do something it doesn't understand how.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I want to read a lot of the reviews on this then.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited
want
to
to see how
see
people thought was good about it.
like YouTube people theories and stuff like that to see like maybe I'm missing something giant, but I don't think I am. The fact is, like the underground, like everyone living down there just doesn't make any sense. What happens when someone travels? Like in that Santa Cruz walk when she's earlier, what if there was someone from New York? How the hell did their clone come over?
Yeah.
It's just none of it makes any sense.
Clone airplanes.
Yeah, clone
Underground
airplanes.
planes.
Clanes.
Yeah. That's it.
Planes.
Got
You're
it,
just not
man.
as smart as Nick, Kevin.
Yeah, that's
It's fair.
probably
I can,
it.
I can explain any plot hole. I'm gonna explain that shit away.
Gaping plot holes.
Gaping.
Stop. Please stop saying gaping. It's so weird.
I'm hungry, Kevin. Let's wrap
Yeah,
it up.
it's time to end the show. Thank you so much for joining us. What?
That's just love Tim when he gets hungry. I was like, I'm hungry. I'm Tim.
I hope you enjoyed today's screencast. If you want a little bit more of us, you can follow us on Twitter. Nick is at...
Nick_Scarpino.
There you go. Sorry, I said that weird because I was like, Nick is at Nick_Scarpino is what I meant to say, but it stopped my brain.
You can also tweet at the other Nick Scarpino too. He loves it. He loves it. He'll just forward those tweets to
the
me.
better
via email.
Scarpino, a lot of people say.
Watch Waiting for the Punchline.
Yes. Right now.
Tim
out
Gettys
now.
is at Tim Gettys. And I am at Kinda Funny Kevin. Thank you for joining us today. And go watch Waiting for the Punchline. I hear it's good.
It's very good.